मैनुअल में लिखा हुआ रहता देखो।
मेरा बाइक थोड़ा उठाना भाई, कहाँ से देख लो।
चलो hello YouTube, how are you all? So this is the same bike you've seen in my thumbnail. Now we had to remove the wrap because we had to get the registration done, and that was pending since quite a long while. And finally, if you guys have noticed, my audio problems are sorted because I ordered 2 new cams. Both of them are here. So this I'm shooting with the GitUp Git 2 action camera. I really love the audio quality on this. My previous vlogs also done with this, so I've been wanting to shoot this vlog, and I shot the vlog thrice already, but because of the audio I couldn't upload it. So I was just heading over to my friend's place to meet him, and this bike's with me, so let's go ahead. So this specific model is a 2015 Iron 883. As for today's topic, how practical or how usable or what exactly is a Harley Davidson for our Indian roads, and also generally I had to bust some myths around Harley Davidson, because you see there's always the other superbike owner groups, and there is the Harley Davidson owner group, which is really they're very separate. They don't really mingle with other groups. And also I've been riding this bike for almost a month, and it comes and goes on and off, and I've ridden 3 different Harley Davidson models. I've ridden the Street 750 quite a lot. You must have seen it in my previous videos, and I had a chance to ride around on a Fat Boy, the big bad boy of Harley Davidson. Now where do I begin? Actually, let's start by saying what exactly is a Harley Davidson. Harley Davidson in the American market is what Royal Enfield is here in the Indian market. It is one of the most customized, the most popular, the most famous cruiser or in general bikes in the United States of America, Milwaukee, where this bike is actually made, where it was born, if I'm not wrong. And now a lot of people say that the Street 750 is not a typical Harley Davidson. And after riding the Iron and the Fat Boy, yes, I can say that is kind of true. But for that, first of all, let me explain the difference between the 3 bikes. The Street 750, it has bad brakes, of course, but that can be fixed. It has a soft suspension, of course, low ground clearance. It has a lock on the gas cap, unlike the other Harley Davidson models, for which you have to pay extra to buy it as an accessory. And overall, the bike doesn't have that potato sound, the uneven firing order, and that raw air cooled noise to it. And it sounds very nice. It's a V-twin, but of course it's a liquid cooled, so it's a very smooth sounding bike. Now I'll not come to the Iron and the Fat Boy. I'll just tell you what a typical Harley Davidson is. Now, a typical Harley Davidson, it's supposed to be difficult to ride. Yes, it is a bit difficult to maneuver. The Fat Boy, forget about it. You need to be a bodybuilder. If you're short, or if you're just a kid, or even a college going kid, you're gonna have a really bad time on that bike. Even on the Iron, even I took some time to get used to the Iron, because the weight and the dynamics of the bike are really different than anything else I had ridden before. Brakes, I'd say they're good on both the Fat Boy and this. Brakes are very good, but then again, it's all about how you use the brakes. Now the rear, it has a tendency to lock very easily. The front gives you really good feedback, but the biggest problem is the suspension. It is so hard. It is so hard that you will feel every little bump and jolt on the road. Even tiny pebbles can upset the balance of the bike easily, and it is very easy to lose the front end on this motorcycle. Mind you not, it is very easy. Now, off-roading, forget about it. Okay, you don't buy a Harley to go off-roading, but even if you hit a little bit of small bad patch of road, you're gonna have a really bad time, because I don't know, it's because of the dimensions of the tire. The rubber is excellent. I mean, it's very grippy on roads and all, but maybe it's because of the suspension and the tire size tuning. I had to go to my farmhouse the other day on this bike, but I couldn't. I had to turn back in the last few kilometers because it was mud and slush and a little bit of rocks. So even on slight rocks, the bike completely changes direction. Even if you're going slow, you have to be very careful. Put both your feet down and put that डर के जाना पड़ता है. And most importantly, the ground clearance is so low. You never know what might touch. And we live in a country wherein roads are more or less in a lot of places non-existent. So a lot of people, they think that this bike is marketed as a cruiser, and of course it is a good cruiser, as in the American conditions. Now the biggest difference between American and Indian conditions are the roads. The roads over there are silky smooth, and when I say silky smooth, they're silky smooth. For them, off-roading would be what some of our gullies here in Hyderabad are. So you know what I'm saying, right? They always have good roads. Oh, my friend's calling me, 1 minute. Hello? Right. So anyways, where were we? So the roads over there are silky smooth, and where this bike excels, this or the Fat Boy for that fact, when you have an open, clean stretch of road and you're cruising along at triple digit speeds, not so high, like maybe 120 kilometers per hour, the feeling of liberation you get, the feeling of freedom you get from this bike is absolutely uncomparable to any other bike. Now, I've ridden the Triumph Bonneville, the Triumph Storm, Thunderbird. They're very good bikes in their own. They have much better brakes, much better handling, they're very nimble and all. But then again, they cannot even come close to what Harley Davidson's feel is. Now, Indian reviewers are too inclined on reviewing bikes according to their top speed figures or acceleration or how good the braking and all is. They just forget the fact that most of the people, at least I ride a bike to remove the stress from my mind, the workload, whatever the tensions we have all through the week. We get on the bike, just head out on the weekend, and we just forget everything. So for that, Harley Davidson is the bike to go. I mean, the signature potato sound, the duck beating, the air cooled sound, and of course the road presence and the feel. And end of the day, Harley Davidson is a household name. You can ask anybody, literally, if they say bikes, cruisers, even a small kid, the only name he'll know is Harley Davidson, because it's that popular. Just this bike is, I could say, that one of the most customized bikes in the world. Harley Davidson, any Harley Davidson, you get it off the showroom floor. People do. They put big ass handles, they change the tires, they cut off the chassis, God knows do what not. So the bike, it has a culture in itself. That said, I have all the good points about the bike. I mean, it feels like no other, and feels is something I cannot really describe in a vlog. Now coming to the bad points, coming to the Indian roads. When Harley was launched in India, they've really not Indianized the bikes. Apart from the Street 750, which is of course manufactured here, these bikes were not at all altered, as per my knowledge, to the Indian roads, and that is an excellent thing, because doing that would rob the feel of a Harley Davidson. Now, you don't buy a Harley for its practicality, you don't buy a Harley to go get groceries and all, but it should be at least a little bit comfortable. Now let's just say Harley's, the sitting posture, everything, it's excellent, it's very comfortable, but the suspension is so bad that if you're going at 60, anything above 50, you hit even a slight bad patch of road, which is very common here. You'll always get bad patches, sometimes such bump, speed breakers. The bike changes direction so violently, as in it just, all the vibrations come literally through your spine, through your hands, and if you're not strong enough to control the bike, it is very easy to fall down. A lot of people have crashed because of that reason. And for touring, no, not in Indian conditions at least. See, Indian summers nowadays they're even crossing 40 degrees Celsius, so being an air-cooled motorcycle, this thing heats up a lot. In traffic especially, you need to sit on it as if you're sitting on an Indian toilet. If there's an open road like this and it's slightly cloudy, it's good. But if it's sunny, this is the 883. It's still, okay. I would not say manageable. It is okay. But on the fat boy and the likes, anything above 1000cc, you're gonna have a really, really bad time. So that's it for my vlog, guys. Basically, I just wanted to make a point that Harley Davidson is not really, people think it is a cruiser bike. Now a lot of people might disagree also. They've done all India tours and everything, but you ask them, even they know that how difficult it was. Of course, karne baite to kuch bhi kar sakte hai bhai. You can do anything, nothing is impossible, but it's all about how comfortable and how good the bike feels for the purpose. Now if you're looking to buy this motorcycle to do long tours, long rides and all that, I suggest you do it if you stay in a city wherein the highways are really, really exceptionally good. Otherwise it's very unsafe. Bad roads, bad patches, suddenly people coming in front of you, this bike doesn't like that. It loses balance very quickly. Of course it is rock solid at high speeds on a highway, but you need to have that kind of braking and maneuverability in Indian conditions, wherein anything or anybody can jump up in front of you at any given time. So that's what I'm saying. If you want a cruiser, you're better off going for a Versys or something, or something, a Bonnie or something like that. But why you should buy a Harley is, then again, the parts, coming to the parts and the service, this is supposed to be a customizable motorcycle, and people do that because abroad where this bike is manufactured, it's very cheap relatively. Here even the gas cap lock costs something close to 8-10,000, I'm not sure. The backrest is some 70-80,000, I'm not sure, but the rates are literally outrageous. So it's not really, people don't really would, not many people would spend like 10 lakhs on the bike, another 10 lakhs on accessories to customize it to their own needs. And then again there come the issues of warranty and all that, blah 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 blah, and then not so many good customizers here in Hyderabad. So you know what I'm saying, right? So point is, if you want to buy a Harley Davidson, you buy it for the soul of it, the feel of it, the thump of it, the vibrations, the road presence. Everywhere you go, you have this feeling that sometimes you're riding the bike and sometimes the bike is riding you, like literally. So you buy it for that, for the soul and all. So all in all, the suspension, heating issues, of course, it is not the perfect motorcycle, but then again, motorcycles were never meant to be perfect. Motorcycles are meant to be felt. The Japanese, they make bikes which are really practical and very useful, but coming to the European and the American bikes, they have a lot more soul. And I'd say, of course, my ER6N is a much better bike than this, but every single time my friend and I go for a ride, I just take this bike with me and keep it for a few days, just because the thump and everything is just undescribable, guys. Words are not enough. So, and I'd also like to say, all the other Indian reviews and all, more than looking at the specs and the braking and the pricing and all of the bike, you also talk about the soul and the feel of the bike. This thing, it's a beautiful, even sitting in the garage, this thing looks so beautiful. I can't really describe, guys. So that's about it for my short vlog. Hope you guys got the point. And also the front mudguard design, I don't really like it, because if you go through mud and slush, it has a tendency to fly up and come all over your face. So if you're going touring on this and you have to go through a village or something, you're gonna have a really, really bad time. I don't know if you can hear the sound, but sounds sweet, man. That's about it. I've come to my friend's hospital. I'm gonna meet him and I'm gonna head back home. So see you guys. Bye bye. A lot of people have even said that the R3 will beat the Iron on a straight line in a drag, but stupid guys, you don't, every bike has its own class, category, purpose, and you don't buy a Harley to drag race.